Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. This is really overdue, I'm sorry, but it's been quite a week. Anyways, I am finally here with my How to Fly Ikaros video. I also plan to make a How to Fly Quasar video after this, so stay tuned if you'd like to see that. So to start, I'm going to show you guys a successful run and analyze it. It took me a couple tries to get this footage, and just a disclaimer, it is a horrible run. So the analysis is going to be a little bit of a roller coaster, but please bear with me. To start, I have the disable invoke shot loaded for mid-long, where all the fireworks take place. So, entering Island 5, I disable the front 3 towers, and then I cast Gravity Warp, try to disable 4, especially that howitzer, because it can be lethal if you don't disable it or get rid of it right away. Next, I already start messing up, and I galvanic the shield and the blue. I should have probably used Starry Night first to eat the first fire flag shot, but I did not, and then the ice flag blocked my spell. I take plenty of damage, but I then cast Starry Night for protection and then use Galvanic on the ice flag to take it out. Afterwards, I disable the fire flag, and then I'm a genius that tries to use Galvanic on a shielded ice flag and pylon on Island 4. Well done, Inji. But then I realize I'm an idiot and I disable the storm, and then I use Galvanic on the fire flag while also casting Gravity Warp, because that does two things. It blocks the damage from the fire flag explosion and it takes out the red mage that I left behind me. Afterwards, I go through this weird cycle of trying to spam Galvanic to get rid of Island 4 and messing up really weirdly, but I get through it eventually by spamming Galvanic and Starry Night in succession. At this point, I'm just thankful that Island 3 has no blue mage because I'm getting low on health. So I go into Island 3, I disable the front 3 towers while also using Starry Night to protect me. I also then cast Gravity Warp, I get rid of the red mage, I disable the other lightning that's in the back, and I make sure to use Galvanic Overload on the perch so it doesn't damage me too much. Afterwards, I take the 2 front towers that are left over with Galvanic, and then I cast Starry Night a couple of times for a little bit of healing, which isn't much, but I did it anyways, and I regenerated a little bit of rage after taking out the back lightning with Galvanic, and then I go on to Island 2. At this point, it gets really easy. I start by targeting the blue mage. I cast Gravity Warp for initial damage mitigation, and with the blue disabled, I can cast Starry Night if needed, and then I just spam and destroy Island 2 and Island 1 while also using Starry Night along the way. Holy crap, that was a mouthful. Now that I've analyzed the successful run, I want to go back to my roots and show some not successful runs like I did with Calibur when I first started my channel. So just to show you guys a learning curve and that I suck and I die too, let's look at fails, starting with the first one where, well, as you guys can see, I disable the front 3 towers on Island 5, I disable part of Island 4, all was going well until I decided to use Galvanic on the ice flag, which was shielded because I'm smart, and then it blocked my spells and I was just a sitting duck and I died. Fail number 2, I won't even try analyzing what went wrong because everything went wrong, and I don't know, my aim was off and it was seeming like things weren't getting disabled and I was just blind and I plopped, I died. Fail number 3, I think what mainly went wrong here is that I didn't quite disable Island 4. I just got rid of the howitzer and then I messed up 4. I was on the way to recovering, but then I I don't know, I clicked the blue or something, so it got undisabled, which got rid of my Starry Night, and at that point I was just toast because Island 4 and the fire flag, and I died. So let's regroup for a second and start talking about general tackling of islands. Let's start with small islands. Typically, I think that I would disable the front 3 towers, use gravity warp, and then disable, if I'm on island 6 for example, I disable the back right tower alongside the perch, and of course vice versa for island 3. And then I would destroy whatever tower that's left over with galvanic while gravity warp is still going. And of course now I'll be able to use Starry Night, etc. and it's easy to nuke the rest of the island. An alternative method that I've also used sometimes is if there is a middle mage and a back right mage, I would try to target both of them together just so I can use Galvanic and Starry Night right away. And it works out really nicely for me because then I can spam Galvanic really quickly. I have the protection from Starry Night. Just go with whatever makes you comfortable. Go with whatever suits whatever setup you're hitting at the time best. Now for long islands, especially mid-long, because that's where most people have their long setups. Basically, if I'm going into a mid-long, what I like to do is have the disable ready on the turn to shoot it at the top priority towers on island 5, just to get those nuisances out of the way, and then use gravity warp for protection, throw the disable at island 4, especially targeting the howitzers so it isn't a pain later on, and then I quickly use Galvanic and Starry Night in quick succession to get rid of the key towers bit by bit and just protect myself along the way, nuking along the mid-long. Now, diving deeper into specifics, let's talk about tower prioritization. I would say that it's largely dependent on setups, but I think if there's one thing I prioritize above any other stuff with Ikaros, it would be the red mage, just because your powerhouse spell for Ikaros is Galvanic. So if the reds are disabled, you have a lot of room to get rid of other problematic towers while gravity warp is protecting you, to just keep progressing. So let me speak about mid-long more specifically. If you're entering Island 5, the first thing I would disable is the red mage, and then I'd use gravity warp, throw the disable spell at Island 4, prioritizing the howitzer because it is very problematic if it hits you. And then, still in gravity warp, really quickly, start using Galvanic on obviously the shielding tower, because even if you did disable it alongside the red mage, it will still have triggered. So you need to get rid of that shielding tower. And then I would get rid of the blue mage so I can free up Starry Night to further protect me. And along the way, I would expect that the defenders would have used their super shots on any ice flak available while you're in gravity warp, which means that it wouldn't have affected you or blocked your spell while you're in gravity warp, which is why I didn't put the ice flak higher up on the priority list. But after getting rid of the blue mage, obviously you will want to get rid of the ice flak in case they have any leftover super shots. You don't want them blocking your Starry Night because that won't be really nice. You can recover from it, but it's best not to get hit if you can help it. This is how I personally have been going about flying Ikaros. General rule of thumb, but of course, as I said, every setup is different. So make sure to take a look at your base and kind of just plan ahead what exactly you're gonna do where. A little point I'd like to tackle before moving on to talking about glitches is, so there's this strategy of deliberately leaving behind towers, relying on gravity warp to take them out. I wouldn't necessarily always rely on that. I have used it, but sometimes when I use it, I end up leaving towers behind because it does not always one-shot nuke whatever towers you leave behind, which leaves room for the towers to get healed. Aside from that, if there is a shielded tower behind you that is disabled that you didn't take out ahead of time, there is the possibility that the shielding tower will super shot once you use gravity warp, shielding the other towers behind you, and then you'll leave them behind. So just keep that in mind if you want to use that strategy. I'm not saying don't use it, I'm just saying be cautious because there are circumstances where it won't quite work as planned. Now, for glitches, they do make Ikaros more annoying to fly, not gonna lie, but they're easy to avoid if you know what they are. So glitch number 1, I actually managed to get you guys footage of that one. It happens when you have the invoke shot preloaded and then you cast Starry Night. It grays out galvanic and you become unable to cast it until you cast the invoke shot, and then you'll be able to cast galvanic once again. Glitch number 2, I was not able to get footage for this one because it doesn't always happen, but from my experience, sometimes your invoke shot gets stuck and you just become completely unable to cast it, even if you use gravity warp to reload your shots. When it happened to me, it seemed to have happened when I had the invoke shot preloaded and I casted galvanic. It got stuck until I recasted galvanic and then it would get unstuck. Admittedly, there is a third glitch I've come across that I won't really talk about too much for a few reasons. Number 1, I'm not quite sure how to trigger it. I have footage of it, but I will not post it because I don't want people figuring it out and then later exploiting it, because it is an OP glitch. I would rather not say what exactly it does, but all I'm gonna say is if you defend against an Ikaros that is stupid OP, is most likely not a hacker. It's most likely someone that unintentionally triggered the glitch and you were just an unfortunate defender in that situation. But yeah, I think that's more or less it with regards to Ikaros that I can at least think of at the moment. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you like what you see, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, spread this video all around. Let me know what you thought down below, and I guess stay tuned for my how to fly I can't English today, how to fly Quasar video that will be coming up. That will hopefully also help people fly him if they're going that route. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well, stay safe, fly high, and I'll see you guys in the next video.